Hi, I'm Karen. We're here at Montavilla Sewing Center, and today we're talking about the Bernette B05 Academy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take care of your machine. Now, when you're sewing, lint is produced because the fabric has a little bit of lint. So your dryer, you always have to clean out the lint trap. But a little bit of lint happens right around here in the feed dog area and in the bobbin area. So I'm going to show you first thing we need to do. Now I want to tell you, your book is going to tell you turn off your machine. That's a good idea. However, for filming purposes, we need the light. So I'm going to leave the machine on. So start out by snipping your thread up at the top here and pull out the excess thread this way. That's how you should always unthread your machine. Take off the presser foot. Keep that out of the way. Let's put that down here in the accessory tray so it's out of the way. Take your bobbin out. And now we want to take the needle out. Now, use your screwdriver that comes with your machine, hang on to the needle, and loosen the thumb screw. Now you should always have to loosen it with the screwdriver. It should never just be finger tight. That means if it's only finger tight, that means it's not tight enough. Your needle could come loose, and you don't want to have that happen. So you pull that down, out of the way. I'm going to also put this down in the accessory tray as well as my bobbin. Put that out of the way. Now we need to take off this needle plate. Now notice there's no needle in the way to worry about. Let's take off the needle plate. And I like this screwdriver because it gives the shape of it gives you a little more torque to turn the screws. When you first turn the screws of your machine, they may be a little bit harder. Okay, so once they're up enough, you can do it by hand. And again, we don't want these short little screws to get lost, so I'm going to put those down in the accessory tray as well. Lift off the cover. So without the bobbin cover on, you've got something you can lift it off with. Okay, that cover right on there. Now, we're going to lift out the bobbin case. Okay, I'm going to put the feed dogs down because I remember to do that. The feed dog switches in back here. I'll lift this out. And then there's a little bit of lint in here. Not a whole lot, but you can see a little bit of lint. You want to clean this regularly. I would say if you sew every day, clean your machine once a week. If you sew only a couple times a week, once a month is just fine. Now the exception to that would be if you sew something flannel or something that has a lot of fuzz, maybe some batting or something. You want to clean especially in between the feed dogs here because lint can build up in there. So we want to clean that out really good. Then clean your bobbin case too. You want to make sure that's clean on all sides. Now the bobbin case is going to fit in here under the feed dogs, but under on top of this rim here. You want to make sure it's nice and flat. And this little knob is going to go right next to that stopper. So we're going to slide that in here. It's kind of a tight fit, but we got it right there. I like to rock it a little bit just to make sure it's flat on that rim. Next, we're going to put the needle plate back on. I'm going to actually put the feed dog switch back up. The feed dogs don't come up until you've actually taken a stitch. Then, we're going to get those little screws out. There's so much stuff in here, and they're very small. That's why we put them in here, not just set them on the desk. Also, I'm going to take the needle out to make sure that we've got that handy also. There we go. All right. Then we put the screws back on. And again, you can do most of this to get it started. Just start them by hand. Get the left hand one going. Get the right hand one started. There we go. I'm not sitting right in front of the machine, and that makes it a little bit harder. But if I was sitting right in the front of the machine, you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. So, and then take your screwdriver and tighten those screws really well. Now you notice on the screwdriver it has this little knob here, and I should have shown that when you take out your bobbin case, you can adjust the tension on the bobbin case. I would recommend most of the time just leave it the way it is, but that's what this little extra little bit is for. It'd be for adjusting that. It's nice to have a smaller screwdriver sometimes for fine work. Okay, so I'm just tightening these finger tight. That's all they need to be. And then to put the needle back in, I like to have my presser foot off and out of the way. It just kind of makes it easier. So what I'm doing is I'm using this brush. Now this brush doesn't come with your machine, but it's an accessory that you can purchase here. It's a brush that has a needle inserter in the end of it. So instead of using my fingers to hold the needle, I can use this needle inserter, and it acts like a handle for the brush. Now we have the flat side of the needle facing away. I poke it down there where it sews, bring it up, right in the middle of this little square that's the needle clamp. And then holding it up tight, I tighten this up by hand, and then use the screwdriver to tighten it up a little bit more. And now that's on there. So now we're going to put the presser foot back on, hold it under here, lining up the stitch hole there with the stitch hole there. There we go. Hold it back and front. I like to hold it front and back like this with my left hand. It kind of helps me see what I'm doing a little bit better. Lower the presser foot, and it puts it right back on. So that is basic machine maintenance. I would recommend that you bring your machine in here to our store to have it cleaned once a year. They'll make sure that lint's all out of the places that you can't reach, and also they'll make sure that everything is lubricated the way it should be. You bring your car in for regular maintenance, even if nothing's wrong with it. So, same thing with your sewing machine. It gets used a lot. You want to make sure that it's running well for you. So thanks for watching this video. We have lots of other videos on this machine and on other machines here on our Montavilla YouTube channel. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye.